Hello and welcome to game number 2 of a show match, kind of like a show match, live from a shopping mall in Minsk. It is gonna be Na'Vi taking on Power Rangers for the second game. Game 1 taken by Power Rangers, game 2. We'll see if Na'Vi can force it to game 3 or if Power Rangers can 2-0 Na'Vi. And as you can hear, my voice is kind of bad right now, so I have got myself co-caster that will do a lot of the talking. It is gonna be Kanaz. Should I call you Kanaz or Kanaz? Since your stream name is Kanazta and your name is Kanaz.
Yeah, I usually go by Kanaz.
Kanaz.
It's too short for most things, so I ended up putting a TA on it that I use for just like making usernames.
Okay. Because there's actually a card game called Kanazta, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Spelled differently, but yes.
Okay. Well, tell us what you're expecting from this match.
Well, I'm kind of hoping Na'Vi put a little bit more of a, I guess, better performance this game. They played pretty decently last game, but lots of mistakes, and they were playing very aggressively. Maybe trying to just show off a little bit in the just because it's a show match, they're live in front of an audience. A lot of really aggressive teleports with Wisp CK, and they ended up getting punished for it. And then we saw the Rapier get picked up by Gyro, and they just didn't have an answer. So we'll see if they play a little safer this time. Maybe they don't want to actually lose the best of 3 set or take it to game 3 at the very least. Or if they're just going to possibly be screwing around a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll find out. I kind of, I think, wow. Na'Vi was of course able to pick up a Wisp, and I think that made it pretty predictable for Power Rangers of what they actually try to do. And of course you're going to get forced into a 5-man fighting kind of style, and it worked out great for Power Rangers in the end. So this time no Wisp. Na'Vi actually don't want to ban it out. We still have the Nyx Assassin in the pool, but previous game was kind of ignored as well. The same bans coming off from Power Rangers again with the Chen as well as the Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, I can't really blame them with the ban on Skywrath. I think we've seen Dendy play it several times now since he's been released, and it's always been kind of pretty brutal, I think, for the opposing team. And Skywrath's just a really strong hero in the mid lane anyways, really great at harassing people out. I don't think Na'Vi have been running him as a support. Some other teams have tried that. I think they've mostly been running in the mid lane. That's probably what they're afraid of here. Just don't want to give Dendy someone high burst damage, good at moving around.
Dendy Skywrath Mage, we have seen that quite often and quite successful indeed as well. We do have, for Power Rangers, they've got basically their tri-lane ready. You've got your disruption into a Split Earth, open wounds there as well. So it's going to be fairly easy for Na'Vi to ban out heroes against Power Rangers, just those solo lanes, just those solo heroes that they don't want to be seeing. And Na'Vi themselves, having themselves a lot of versatility already. Gyrocopter, we've seen him in mid, we've seen him aggressive tri-lane. We see Batrider basically everywhere as well. So for Power Rangers, it's going to be, well, actually right now it's going to be easy to ban heroes out. It's going to be supports that we're going to see getting banned out with Power Rangers, because Na'Vi, they just picked up their 3 cores.
Yeah, it looks like the bans for both sides should be pretty easy here. Na'Vi just going to be banning out solos, and Power Rangers just banning out the supports. And as we can see, they're going very quickly as a result, taking out Storm, Puck for Na'Vi, and then Keeper Light, Bane, Nyx by Power Rangers. Very quick bans.
Yeah, no hesitation for either teams. I mean, boom. They knew what they needed to ban out. I mean, we mentioned them, and we see 3 supports on one side and 3 solos on the other. Big surprise. So which solo lanes do we have still left? We still have, of course, Windrunner Beastmaster kind of thing, if they want to go for that kind of thing.
Yeah, they have Windrunner, Beastmaster. I don't know if necessarily Power Rangers are going to want to pick up either of those heroes. Beastmaster doesn't get played a lot by the Russian teams, I don't think.
5 seconds
And I guess Power Rangers from like Belarus, right? I guess I might be just talking out of my ass.
Oh, I just want to say sorry for cat sounds. I tried to make him quiet, so I didn't really hear what you said.
Oh, I don't know where Power Rangers are from. They're like near, I think Belarus or something. Or
yeah. I think they're actually Polish, but I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
I'm not sure.
So I said a lot of the more Russian teams don't really play Beastmaster that much, so I'm not sure if we'll really see him picked up. Windrunner could certainly be a decent pick here. I'm not sure who they're going to want to run though as their offlane. Maybe Clockwork is a pretty good hero against Magnus if they want to try and go that route. It's really hard to use reverse polarity when you have cogs down as well as the battery assault.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping for Tidehunter. Just in case.
Tidehunter, definitely a hero they could do. We don't see, haven't seen.
Oh, boom!
Just nailed it.
Nailed it.
Navi's turn to
Thank you.
pick.
I like
Yeah,
that.
Tidehunter, we haven't seen it in a long time really playing the offlane. He kind of fell out of the scene just because his team fight not quite as good as really Magnus is. He has a longer ult cooldown. It kind of does the same thing, and being able to pull them all in one position also usually better. But I guess if Magnus is on the other side and you want a team fight hero who can offlane, Tidehunter does work. And a Rubik pickup from Navi now. Not surprising really there that to see them pick up the Rubik again for Kuro.
No, rather surprising that he wasn't actually banned out, but you know, you have to choose. And right now Kuro is gonna have a good old time trying to ban out, or trying to steal rather, the Ravage. Challenge accepted.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not sure who they're going to want to run the mid lane now. Like you said, Windrunner could be. They're going to go with Outworld. Alright.
Navi's turn
Outworld
to
definitely a
pick.
hero we don't see a ton of. I guess he's sort of become a little bit more popular as of late in the mid lane. He's pretty difficult to beat for most of the heroes we see there. Batrider might not have the worst time. It's kind of hard to outlast hit Outworld when you're an intelligence hero just because he drains your attack damage.
I'm kind of hoping that it's gonna be Magnus mid up against the OD, or at least I'm hoping that for Power Rangers, because OD will ruin
10
Magnus.
seconds. 10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
Magnus is not a particularly great matchup either. He usually relies
5
on
seconds
shockwave spam,
remaining.
and if you don't have a mana pool because he keeps draining your intelligence, you're not really going to be able to get last hits that way.
Reserve time.
So I guess we'll have to see what they do. I'm kind of expecting with that pick, maybe Batrider ends up in the mid lane and Magnus off. And then they're probably just looking for support here. Lena possibly could go with Rubik. Makes a pretty good roaming pair, and you can use telekinesis as a setup for the Light Strike Array.
Jakiro, same kind of idea.
Yeah, certainly Jakiro as well.
We just
I
follow
tend
up
not to
disables.
favor Jakiro just because he's a little bit slower, harder to move around with.
You have to. You saw previous game though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that Jakiro was doing a
the
lot of
Jakiro,
work.
that was Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Picked them last game. Yeah, he did a lot of work last game, definitely. But I think that was more because of Clockwork, and they really paired up his spells really well with it, like the Cogs and then the Macro Fire. I don't know, maybe if Navi gets some good Magnus ults off, they can rely on Jakiro, but his spells
10
aren't the
seconds
easiest to
remaining.
land effectively.
Enchantress.
And Enchantress, not something I would have thought of.
No, but well, they're gonna go for a safe lane, and then have Puppy and Enchantress, of course. Both Puppy and Kuroki like to roam fairly early on, so we're gonna see Enchantress being put to full use here. And I am just gonna be putting your name on the overlay. So I'm gonna be even more quiet for a while, as people in the chat, please. I do not smoke, so this is not from smoking. Though I would suggest that if you do smoke, you are indeed gonna be sounding like this. So don't smoke. There you go. It's unhealthy for
Alright.
your voice.
I'll go over the players and what heroes they're on while you're doing that.
Yeah.
So for Dire, we got Navi. Havo's going to be playing on the Gyrocopter. He looks to be heading to the safe lane. That's going to be with Puppy in the jungle on Enchantress, and of course Kuroki on the Rubik. Mid lane looks to be Dendy playing that Magnus, and it is going to be off lane Batrider, handled by Funnick. And meanwhile, Power Rangers have all 5 heroes heading up into the Dire jungle, so looking like they might be thinking about running an aggressive tri-lane. They certainly could do it. Looks like we're going to have Fang, FNG, playing Shadow
30
Demon,
seconds
Moon
to
on
go.
the Lifestealer, Cheshire Cat on the Leshrac, ZXC on the Tidehunter, and finally Sunlight going to be playing the Outworld. So we'll see where they end, if they end up running this aggressive tri-lane. It's pretty powerful aggressive tri-lane, definitely with the disruption from Shadow Demon as well as the Split Earth from Leshrac to set up, and then open wounds from Nakes just to make sure that they keep people in place long enough to get those kills.
I'm gonna be very quiet. It's just, I'm gonna let you do a lot of the talking. Because I'm gonna cast the qualifiers later today as well, and otherwise, I don't have voice left.
Right.
So I'm gonna abuse you a bit.
No worries. I'm here to talk anyways.
Good.
So it actually looks like Tide is hanging out in this tri-lane right now as the third hero, and Nake's heading bottom.
I like it.
It's definitely interesting.
Because Sunlight was a solo offlane in the previous game, he's gonna be
Radiant's
solo
bottom
again.
tower is under attack.
But Tidehunter, one
Sunlight's
that you would
mid
expect
in
by
the-
himself.
Sunlight's mid on the OD right now. So going up against Magnus being played by Dendy, should be pretty terrible for Dendy. He'll have a little bit of time before he can really start spamming the Astral Imprisonment, just because he doesn't have the points in Essence yet. But once it starts going off, Dendy's not going to really be able to cast Shockwave. You can see his mana pool already below 180, so that's one cast before he doesn't have enough mana. And Funnick has to pause. Alright.
Has to disconnect. Because I'm like, at some point, Magnus, he won't be able to do anything. He won't even be able to score anymore. It's gonna be so tough for him.
Yeah, he shouldn't really be in too much danger of dying unless someone rotates in. And it looks like they have at least the one ward in that region. I don't know if my pings actually show up. They have that one ward watching up the top river, just to make sure that the rotation doesn't come in from those supports. But other than that, he should be pretty much fine, at least to get experience. Maybe he'll walk in and get some last hits from time to time, but Outworld doesn't have great killing potential by himself right now.
No, we are gonna see Puppy maybe rotate faster though.
Yeah,
Try and help Dendy maybe.
Puppy's probably going to have to get involved. He's got that smoke already up. It looks like he has a Centaur creep that's all the way up in the top lane, chasing after a Shadow Demon, actually. Probably just trying to harass him a little bit before it times out. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to rotate mid to really get anything done, unless maybe Kuro heads there as well on the Rubik. It's because if Dendy doesn't have a lot of mana, he's probably not going to be able to really set up a good skewer, and unless Enchantress gets maybe a Dark Troll Summoner, not really going to be able to help any. The Centaur not really going to be able to stomp on anything. It's terribly difficult to land that stun without any sort of setup.
Yep. Especially if, like you said, there's no skewer to help it with. It did scout out the supports though, so they now know it's an aggressive trialing. I guess for Power Rangers, it's more important right now to try and shut down Vos a bit, rather than trying to get a lot of out of that top lane themselves, because they have a free farming Lifestealer bottom lane.
Yeah, with this lane, no one here is super farm intensive from the Power Rangers lineup. They have the Tidehunter, who does look to be actually doing the farming in lane, but if he doesn't really get a lot of farm, it's not going to hurt him, as long as he gets some levels, of hopefully eventually, and that'll probably come about as soon as the ports start rotating around. But Lifestealer getting pretty much completely free farm in the bottom lane. We'll see how long that lasts. I don't think this is a particularly great matchup for Lifestealer against solo Batrider.
No.
That's why I'm kind of surprised they ended up running it this way. But if these supports move around from top pretty quickly, it could work out. They can get those kills in the mid lane maybe.
Yeah, you kind of do need at level 6 at some point up on the Tide, and having an aggressive trialing does hurt him a lot. So. Oh.
Yeah, he's got to get those levels if they want to end up taking team fights, and especially with
bottom
Navi
lane.
having... Oh, we got a kill going on, right?
8 stacks. Yeah, you're dead. He's so dead. Ooh,
Oh,
or
the
not.
disruption
Nah,
keeps him alive for a few seconds.
Yeah, one more hit is doing the job. Ooh,
Nope.
the stacks just vanished. Only one stack doesn't get that last
Disruption,
8 hit.
But just enough time for it.
Yo.
So it worked out well. Funnick wasn't able to secure the kill, but as we can see, Nate's not going to have a great time here. 2 minutes in and he's already getting chased completely out of the lane by the solo Batrider. It's definitely not the best way to start the game. We'll see if Shadow Demon actually hangs out down here and tries to keep him safe, or if he's going to try and move around some more.
Yeah, Funnick is at least going to be having a fast blink dagger if he keeps on like this, even though last hit-wise he's not doing too great. I'd say he's only 8. 8 for 1.
Yeah, with Moon having the Crawling Blade,
They're gonna go for it? No.
they can't get this kill. They harass him a little bit, force him to use some mana, I guess. He probably didn't even necessarily need to use the Firefly. But it's not going to really do anything beyond that. Now we can see FNG doesn't have any mana as well. He's using the Clarity. How are you pronouncing Shadow Demon's name? Fang? FNG?
I just call him FNG.
FNG? Sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you had some insight into what his name was.
Nope,
Like, with...
only a Cheshire Kanaz EXE.
Yeah, I used to always call that guy Chishricked or something like that. And I was
Me
like,
too.
This can't be his real name.
I actually got an email at some point from a Russian fan saying, you
Oh.
know, there's a lot of Russian teams that use these names and you pronounce them like this. It's like, oh my god, that's like the Bible I've been waiting for.
That's pretty good, yeah. Kuro gonna drop a ward that's in the range of that sentry up in the top lane, so it gets killed immediately.
A bit painful.
Strong lane warding going on there.
Puppy having some nice creeps here, by the way. They could try to go for a push here, and it looks like they are.
Yeah, they got some tanky creeps at the very least, which are pretty much exactly what you want when you're pushing for this tower. And I don't know really if Power Rangers are going to be able to do too much stalling it up. The Hellbear going to clap a few times and then time out, it looks like, before it dies, yeah.
In the meantime, haste rune up on Funnick. Another disruption to save a target here for Funnick not to kill off, so disruption was in time to save Sunlight this time.
Yeah, they're keeping Funnick from getting kills, but he's getting pretty much all the experience he wants, and he's never feeling very threatened to die. So I don't know how long they're going to keep this up, especially since Shadowdoon's not really doing much down this lane except keeping maybe the Nakes a little safer. He's like kind of sacrificing himself completely just to be available in the lane in case needs the disruption. Which is decent for getting Nakes to the farm. He feels safer, he's farther up in the lane, but they're going to have this Shadow Demon that's still only level 2, 5 minutes in, and they're going to have to worry about that eventually if they want to use other spells. Meantime, Navi rotating to this mid lane now, with a couple supports.
Yeah. Let's see what they can do. Smoked up. Sunlight smelling something's wrong though. They have a ward in the jungle, nicely placed. Probably saw them rotating.
Maybe I didn't notice where they actually used the smoke. If they used it near that, it would have been pretty much terrible for them if they cast the smoke anywhere near that ward. But looks like they're just going to give it up now. FNG was in the mid lane as well on the Shadow Demon, so might have been able to save someone with that disruption.
SheeverGaming's gonna die though. Lands still sun up on a Vost before it goes down, but too much harassment coming off from a Vost and first blood on the board. Good one for Navi as well.
Yeah, were you watching that as it happened?
No, only the last hit.
Yeah, the very end.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure how that kill took place. Leshrac was basically on the other side of the creep wave against solo Havost, and Havost got a kill without using his ult. I have no idea what happened there.
Maybe a rocket barrage, just a bad positioning, I would guess, from Leshrac. They'll
Yeah.
call down. There's a rocket barrage as well. That's gonna be another kill for a Vost.
Yeah, and this
Nino
is actually
supports.
terrible for Power Rangers. If they're giving Havost solo kills up in the top lane on this gyrocopter, any work they were trying to do with this aggressive tri-lane early that they ended up even abandoning a little bit, it's not what you want to be doing. Just now this gyro's up to level 7. No one's even, the mids aren't even as high a level as him.
Yeah.
And he was tri-laned.
And he got two kills. He's gonna be able to pick up the tower. You know, he's doing just fine. More gold for him in the meantime. Ooh, disruption again. Trying to save the life of himself this time. RP is still gonna hit though, and that's gonna be killing off FNG and Sunlight.
And Sunlight.
Yeah.
He's down as well.
No hope for him.
Double kill for Dendy.
What did you expect?
Lasso used for that as well.
Yeah, they used a lot of spells there, but they're not really worried about that right now. Maybe Lasso a little bit more because they could have been using it to maybe set up a gank on the Nakes. But the reverse polarity specifically, if it gets 2 kills as a result of it, it's definitely worth it for them. They're up 4-0 now, and they can start pressuring towers once again. Looks like maybe bottom lane's
go. Let's see if they can chase him. Looks like they can. Infest out. We'll get the last hits. Moon. Moon that one. Nicely done. First kill for Power Rangers actually in the game.
Yeah, it's not that important of a kill to really get the Batrider. He's not even close to having...
Top lane. Ooh, you're dead.
Tide rack!
A very simple telekinesis into Rocket Barrage. And like you said, the support's rotated, so he's by himself.
Yeah, the Tide is not having a great time here. He just keeps getting ganked now. He gave that solo kill to Havost, and now, you know, just one support is enough to set up this kills with how much farm Havost has gotten at this point.
Yeah, 3 levels difference between Havost and the Tide. ZXC. Let's see though, Power Rangers setting something up bottom.
Yeah, there are a couple heroes smoked up. I don't know if Funnick's gonna run for it. Oh, he moves for it enough.
Yep. Oh, Splitter too early though.
Misses, yeah.
And it's Funnick. Open Moon still hit, but is it gonna be enough damage? Looks like there might be Courier gonna be able to fly away.
Juan's
Just like
enough to
Funnick.
keep him safe.
Yep.
And the Cheshire Cat now getting
Lightning
he's
being
in trouble.
stolen. Cheshire Cat last suit, and he will be going down as well. 6 kills to 1.
And definitely a good counter game coming up from Navi. Funnick able to just hold on long enough. If that Split Earth had hit, he'd be dead. But just a little bit of mistiming from Leshrac. Maybe he's used to playing with slightly more delay than right now since they are on land. But definitely just slightly too early, and that leads to Funnick surviving and then getting that revenge kill.
Under attack.
Yeah, we'll put Navi 6-1. Gold graph, 5,000 gold in favor of Navi, with only one tower going down so far.
Radiant's top
An
tower
experience
is
graph
under
going
attack.
towards the 6k. Looking good.
Looks like there might be a little skirmish in the Radiant Woods here. Navi just gonna make their way out though.
There's no Ravage up yet. ZXC still level 5.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem when you tri-lane a Tidehunter. Just because he was there with supports for so long, he didn't get as much experience as he might have.
Dire's bottom tower
Oh,
There's
are
a
they
fight
sure they
going
want
down.
to be here? Flame Ray helping out. Lightning, Kuroki in some trouble. Kuroki going down.
This is very aggressive positioning from Navi. Like, there's not going to be wards here. They expect. I guess they thought they were completely clean. Then he's gonna come in though and gets the reverse player down a couple.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, the Shashar Cat will go down. Sunlight gonna be able to at least delay execution, but will go down anyways. Bat
Nobody
Rider
managed
goes
to
down
get
still.
his ult off and kill the Bat Rider there.
Yeah.
It's sort of a last thing he could do before he goes down. Throw out the Sandy's Eclipse, take that Bat Rider out, but definitely not the fight the Power Rangers really probably were expecting. But with Hovos rotating in, he has all of that money, all that farm, and then the AoE. It's just enough to really push them back out of it and secure a couple more kills for the way of Navi. I'm not sure what they're doing down here right now. They're hanging out in the Radiant Jungle, just trying to farm it up, making sure they take as much money away from Power Rangers as possible. But no one on Power Rangers is actually utilizing this at the moment. I thought maybe they would rotate down towards the bottom lane with some Enchantress creeps. Try and pressure the tower. Looks like they don't want to do it quite yet. And Navo's just going to walk all the way back up to that top lane.
Yeah, then he finds CXC here. And I think he's gonna be able to get a kill. Oh, TP out should be in time. Nicely done.
And there goes Dendy picking up a Blink Dagger, so that's pretty quick. 11 minutes in, not the fastest, but he did get those arcane boots, the bottle beforehand. And he's been moving around a lot, and also that matchup in the mid lane, probably not the best thing in the world for him.
Kuroki in the mid lane also trying to steal
Dire's
some
bottom
experience
tower
away.
is under attack.
Gonna be having some trouble though. Split Earth is gonna come in, hits on Kuroki. Cheshire Cat taking a lot of damage from Poppy, but Disruption will save his life, and Funnick will now come in to try and kill off someone extra. Ooh, gets a lasso upon Sunlight. Open Moon upon Kuroki. Moon gonna try to go for it, as Sunlight's still alive for now. Moon gonna back off again. And that is gonna be still Sunlight going down, still 2 for 0 for now.
I was fond of them.
Yeah, you can see Leshrac sort of feeling the last time where he was a little too early on the Split Earth, and he hesitated a little bit longer that time. It ended up being just late enough that Kuro was able to get that telekinesis off on him, and that ended up being his death as well.
Under attack.
And this
Just
time
playing a
Navi
little
gonna
bit less
push.
confidently.
Whoa, RP, CXC, you're dead. Or not, or not. 18
Disruption
HP.
keeps him alive, yeah. Disruption is like a good effort, but a little too late.
Yeah.
Navi looking like they're really playing this one much, much better.
Dire's
Taking a lot of fights, they're
structures
still
are
playing really
fortified.
aggressively, but looks like maybe they have a team they're more comfortable with in this particular game, not the Wisp Chaos
Tower is
Knight.
under attack.
And not getting punished as heavily.
And their lanes just worked out, or better yet, Power Rangers lanes did not work out.
Yeah, Power Rangers,
Radiant's middle
the tri
tower
lane
has fallen.
in the off lane, maybe that was partially because they weren't sure what the Tide was going to be able to lane against. They picked the Tide knowing it was going to be either up against Bat Rider or probably Magnus, or worst case scenario, he's up against a tri lane, and Tide's not really going to survive in any of those lanes particularly well.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Sunlight
attack.
getting chased by Magnus here. Looks like Dendy should be able to just secure the kill.
I returned in outer dark.
Whoa. What?
Oh, Ravage. It's a kind of
I thought he
a large-
died.
Radiant structures.
Oh, he TP'd in and Ravaged. Well, the Magnus go
Radiant's
down.
middle
The hell.
tower is under attack.
He did die. But, he's level 6, or I guess he's level 8 now.
Yeah, you got 2 levels from killing off Dendy. Holy crap.
So he respawned pretty quickly there. And just poured it in after respawn to kill off Dendy. They committed a Ravage for that. I mean, it's
Dire's
nice to
top
kill Dendy and
tower
all,
is
but
under attack.
now you gotta feel like, how are they gonna fight if Navi decided to just dive another tier 2 tower to fight them? They don't have the Ravage, and that's their only real great team fight. I guess Sandy's Eclipse to some extent, but the Outworld doesn't actually have any farm, so it doesn't do that much damage. His int just isn't that high right now.
Have to wait, or I have to hope that Na'Vi gives them 2 minutes to wait, rather. For the Ravage to be back up. And of course also for Moon to farm his armlet. Which she almost has complete.
Yeah, but they're playing against Na'Vi, and even if they're going to give them those 2 minutes, which it looks like at this point Na'Vi might be doing, but we can see Havost farming the Ancients. They had a bunch of stacks. Na'Vi have been out farming them this entire game, and they out-farmed them pretty much the entire last game as well. So they may get this time to like wait for that cooldown, but they're going to get punished for it in other ways. Na'Vi going to just get a whole nother tier of items if they want, because they're farming so much.
Bottom lane, Poppy gonna get open wounds as Nature's Attendants are ready. Kuroki gonna be the first one to drop it. It looks like Poppy will be following suit.
You feed the crowd.
Or will he? Nature's Attendants OP. Will there be another gush? Anchor smash. Call down. Infest damage doing something, but the Urn Charge keeps Poppy up, and here comes Havos. And is gonna be having himself the Astro imprisoned. Buying Power Rangers a bit more time, but it doesn't matter. 2 already on the sidelines, last 2 up on Moon, 3 dead. Here comes the 4th, goes down as well, and Shadow Demon running for his life.
Yeah, Shadow Demon booking it out of there, full health, not going to get involved at this point. I can't really believe Puppy survived that. They used a lot of spells on him, and the Urn Charges, the Nature's Attendant, and then just him hiding in the forest kept him alive way longer than it feels like it should have.
Yeah, it's I'm actually, I mean, you said it already, you know, Power Rangers want to probably wait until they have the Ravage again, but they just went in, and they overcommitted. They shouldn't have dived that.
Yeah, I think they were just feeling a little overzealous from just getting that counter gank off on the 2 supports. They were waiting there while the Na'Vi sent the 2 supports to gank Nakes. They got 1, they chased after Puppy like, oh, we'll be able to get this kill, it's just Enchantress, but Enchantress has a lot of ways of healing herself. Puppy actually going for a pretty interesting build. Only 2 points in Nature's Attendance, and has 5 points in stats right now.
Scary Enchantress.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, I have to say though, I mean, without those 5 points in stats, he wouldn't have survived. Actually,
yeah,
he would have if he had more
armor,
points in Nature's Attendance.
Yeah, the healing from Nature's Attendance probably would have helped him just as much, but
Radiant's
it
bottom tower
worked out
is
for him
under
regardless.
attack.
He has a lot more health and armor than he would normally. Makes him a little bit tankier, and definitely is what helped him survive there. Just not what I would have expected to see.
Everybody of Na'Vi moving towards the bottom lane. And Moon,
Radiant's bottom tower
you're
is
kind of
falling.
in the wrong position right now, buddy. He's gonna try to run out of this. He's not able to do that.
Yeah, not gonna get anything here.
No.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And that's gonna give an opening for Na'Vi to push down tier 2. Maybe even more, if they're lucky.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, it looks like this tower is probably just gonna go down without Power Rangers even pretending they're gonna contest it. They're moving around trying to like get something out of it, but all their lanes are pushed pretty far. The only one that's even remotely pushed out is top lane, and they don't have any heroes near there. And it looks like Na'Vi are just gonna keep going.
Well, they can. They only have to worry about a Ravage.
Radiant's bottom tower is
But they got
under
themselves more in return. Lesu up again in 28.
Yeah, I feel like at this point Na'Vi probably are expecting that they can just fight through the Ravage. It's only a level 1 Ravage, they don't really have great follow-up AoE yet. And if they just survive the Ravage long enough, their AoE then comes back with the call down, with the...
Oh, there it is. It hits upon 3. And indeed, their gun can live through it. It is Power Rangers that already have 3 on the sideline, gonna be 4 soon. Lifesteal,
they're
the
just
only one left alive.
Power
The
Rangers
GG
just gonna
call.
call it. Yeah, they really felt like they never had too much going on for them in this particular game. And probably owing a lot of that to just how they ended up laning. The Tidehunter pick was, you know, it was great that you called it, but it didn't really end up working out for them, I think, the way they wanted it to.
It did not work out at all. And we're seeing the players get up. Gonna be taking another break again because we will see game number 3, of course. Game number 1 taken by Power Rangers. Na'Vi taking game number 2. In game number 3 to decide who gets the $3,500 worth of goodies. And the second place getting $1,500 worth of goodies. Of course, we're watching the Techlabs live from a shopping mall in Minsk. Power Rangers versus Na'Vi, bit of a show match. Only 2 teams of Dota 2 that are there. Once again, sorry for my horrible voice, but of course I have my co-caster Kanaz with me right now. And he can do most of the talking. Yay, thank you for being here. Before we jump ourselves into the next game, do you have a bit of a shout out or a bit of a plug-in?
I mean, if you like my casting, you can check me out at twitch.tv/Kanazta, Kanazta. Otherwise, that's about it.
Okay. Well, we'll be jumping ourselves into the next game, and I'll be putting up the Russian stream if there's interesting footage to show. And well, yeah, let's jump ourselves in there. So stick around. Or do it. Oh, actually no, end screen. The hell. Okay, we're gonna see the wrong throne explode, people. Because Na'Vi disconnected, Power Rangers did not.
And we could see Dendi die to a tier 2 tower in the mid lane. Just walking back to base after he disconnected.
Well, need to have that explosion.
Radiant
Yeah, Val, please fix my voice. I agree. I would love that. And don't wish me well. I'm not ill. I don't feel bad. Everything is working as intended apart from my voice. And that's not because I'm ill. Anyway, end screen. Jump ourselves out.